What's up, guys? My name is Nicardo Shirley and your girl
Dana, and welcome back to
Loving You. In today's episode, the topic for this episode is how to make your marriage work. So basically, some things you can do to make your marriage work after you get married and things. Because challenges going to come up. You're going to encounter a lot of things. Some things that you don't really think about, but they just appear.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some challenges and also how you would overcome them within your marriage.
Alright, so one thing with our culture, basically, when two persons get married, then when two persons get married, the first thing that comes to most persons or person who's looking into the relationship is kids. And
especially the grandparents and stuff. When they have their first picnic, whatever.
So most time, not in all cases, but after marriage, persons looking to start their family and stuff like that.
It's like the next step.
But although this is the next step, this can also be one of the main challenge that a couple face in terms of kids.
And being able to have a child as well.
Yes.
Because having a child, it's a huge responsibility. It's basically taking care of another life. So providing for that life. Are you able to provide for that life? What type of environment will that child come in?
Yes, so basically at this point you're gonna have a lot of challenges. One of the main factor is how many kids you want to have.
And I don't think really that is the main problem. I would say the main thing is basically family planning.
No. Why I said one of the challenges now. What if we get married, right? We're gonna have some discussion when you're married. Say, hey, I want 2 kids, I want 3 kids.
Yeah, but sometimes even though you plan that hey, I want 2 kids, sometimes you end up with 3.
And the problem arises when you already discussed this in the before you get married. Say, hey, I want 2 kids, I want 1 kid, I want 3 kids.
But
and then after you get married, the person say, hey, I don't want 3 anymore, I want 1. Hey, I don't want.
Alright. So that
is the challenge.
I wouldn't say that it's a challenge per se, because sometimes after you experience, remember, as a woman being pregnant, giving birth, they're basically putting their life at risk. Hence, I don't think the male should basically have such an influence in that, because the female is the one that is putting her life at risk. Alright, what if when she's delivered her first child, or she got pregnant with her first child, she's having so much pain, she's struggling basically, because it's not an easy road for some person. It's not an easy road, right? Your foot swell up, every minute you want vomit, you spit a lot, but all of them things, your emotions just through the roof. Wait, and then to go, to go to a public hospital to have a child. You know that in Jamaica, right? To go to a public hospital to have a child, most time it is not easy, right? You can't have your husband or your spouse by your side. You get what I say?
But look,
and sometimes based on what I've heard, right, at times they can be mistreated, especially if they see that maybe you look maybe young or something. You can be mistreated, and the care that listen what I'm saying. The care that you are supposed to receive, right, to feel better. You're not receiving the care, you're not getting the attention you need. as a woman in labor.
Alright, remember
And
me saying that?
you
No,
are
yeah, what I'm saying. No, you're trying to make it. Yeah, straight from the topic.
Alright.
Me say, at the point when a person they decide on the kids can cause challenge in terms of saying you say you want 2 kids in before we get married, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after you say you want 2, you know, and then after we get married you say you want 4. The guy might just say you need 1. You need 4, the guy need 1, and the guy just stop at 1 and just start use contraceptive. If you still insist you need 4, I try to convince the guy to not use contraceptive and all these things. It gonna cause problem because he said he just need 1.
Alright. I get that factor, right? But the factor that I was talking about is like when the female has said 2 kids and then struggle in her pregnancy, in delivery and stuff.
And the guy need more.
She's basically traumatized because sometimes even though after you have the child, you have some
you can't go again. It's like you just want to stop.
You become depressed.
So you agree with me?
Anxious.
So you're in agreement with me?
For the lady, I'm talking about for the lady. The man don't go through basically nothing compared to what the female
no, it not really.
And it can be say you plan to have 4 kids, but after the second one you're so traumatized within the pregnancy and the labor experience, you don't want another one.
But it's not all
and
the time.
that is understandable. So that factor that I've just
it is a challenge similar because remember, you know, not all the time is the guy that need kids, you know. Sometimes the guy just need 1 and the females need 3. Not all the time the guy gonna need 5, 6 or more.
Yeah, I understand that. That's why I said it depends on the factor. Because the factor that I have just presented is reasonable enough to say right. But on the other hand, the factors that you just presented is also important as well, because that can cause a big argument. I want 1, you want 2.
Yeah, so that's why I said this part, although it's simple, it can cause a real conflict. Even in this case as well, you want girl, I want boy. Say for instance you go the first time and you get a boy, right? You get a boy. The female sometimes, hey, I need a girl, try again, get a next boy. Hey, I need a, you know.
Alright, so it depends on a lot of factors. Because even though you want 1 and I want 2, we have to put all the advantages and disadvantages. Because even though I don't want 2, I have to think about you because you want your 2. And I have to still think about you, and then we have to come to a decision where we start thinking about the different factors that come with a child. And if we can manage and things. So you also have to think about the advantages of not having that second child and the things that come with it and everything. And after you put those factors together, the one that outweighs the other, you know, that is the one that and sometimes you need outside influence as well, but good influence